Hello everybody, I'm back again. This is actually just a few minutes later than the previous walk. It's still an early morning walk and I wanted to go back, but Mac, he has a mind of his own and he gives me that, that sad look when I start to walk back and he wants to lead me away, and those big eyes of his just look up at me, and I'm sure, some of you have seen that on previous videos. I've documented that, and he doesn't want to go back. So let's see. What topic of conversation shall we have now? Well, let's talk about running. I used to run. I haven't run for about a year, right? But I used to run for many years, from my early 20s. I did a good number of marathons over the years. I don't know. The funny thing is, I never looked at a marathon as a marathon. Maybe the first one. But after that, when I realized, I say it's just a long run. So what I'm saying is, I don't remember how many I did. I must have did 50, between 50 and 100, I guess. I don't. And, assorted other races, like I did, what was this in kilometers? One was 50 kilometers, that's more than a marathon, and another one was 30 something miles. The funny thing is, when I started to lessen my training runs, right, it was a 40 mile run in Queens, Forest Park, right, they etched out the running club, I guess it was held by, New York Road Runners Club. They etched out four runs, 10 miles each around the park, going through, in and out. Each one was 10 miles. The funny thing is, in that run, I recall my marathon mark was actually better. I think it was 3.5, something like that. It was better than marathons I did as I started deconditioning, when I stopped, all the running. And it's funny, I finished that one. I actually, and years later, I think 5 hours, 37 minutes comes to my mind. And years later, I did marathons in much longer times than that as I did condition. And the slowest one I did a couple of years ago was in the one in Long Island here. Eisenhower Park, Long Island Marathon. It was like almost 7 hours, which is, when you're on the road for 7 hours, it's actually a lot more difficult than when you're in a shape like my best time, which is about 3 hours and 14 minutes. That was like Atlantic City. That was Atlantic City before the boom, and now they have the bus. That's how long ago that was. It was after the run, I get dressed and wearing the dungarees and the t-shirt, and I wanted to go, and I think there was one casino at the time. Was it two? I think there was one, and they said, no, you're wearing a t-shirt, you have to wear a shirt or a jacket. They would let me in. Now, after that, I went in late, years later. I don't think that was a problem, but at the time, they were trying to have a certain standard, but whatever. Standard is, I think the standard is money. That's your gambling standard. But anyways, getting back to running. So that was, Atlantic City was very nice, actually. We visited there, me and the wife and the kids. The kids, they were younger at the time. They wouldn't let them into the casinos. They let them into the show. Oh, this is interesting. There was one show when, my wife has a visual impairment, so we always sit up front. We were sitting up front and with the kids, and we were there. We got early enough, so we got a front seat. Whatever we paid, whatever it was. What's Mac? We have to, and the staff comes up to us. Oh, the performer, the head performer doesn't like kids sitting in the front. I says, well, he's going to have to like it, because I don't know where we're going. Like I said, my wife, come, Mac, please. My wife has a visual impairment, so they walked away. Sometimes people are off the wall. You can't just agree. The performer don't like kids. Well, maybe I don't like the performer if you don't like kids. Anyway, Mac, come on. There's another doggie that he's looking at. But, I don't know, Mac, come on, let's go back. We're going to go for more of a run later. I'm trying to talk a little bit about something, and I keep on changing the subject. Anyways, we're going back to running. So, one thing I wanted to do in running was get this sub 3-hour marathon, like fast to finish line at 2:59. And I have it in me, even though I'm much older now. It's training, and it's just perseverance. Because when you're running a marathon, the whole thing is not to let the concept that it's a long run. It's 1 mile after the other. I mean, how many times you can go out 5 miles, 6 miles, 7 miles, 10 miles, And I mean, it's good before a marathon to do a lot of long runs. One thing I never did, I never laid off running for like the day or two before the marathon. I always just ran. Oh, another airplane. Hello. Airplane, there's a birdie in the sky. Hello. So, anyways, I don't know if that hurt or helped, but maybe you're supposed to give it a day to rest. I didn't. At that time, anyways. And then, back then, but I would also go for long bike rides. In any weather, I'd finish my run 10 miles or longer, and then get on my bike. In the summer, I love to go pretty much in any weather, but in the summer, I love to go to the Rockaways. I used to live in Brooklyn, that was cool. And I go over the bridge on Flatbush Avenue. Sometimes I hang a left, right, going east. I head up at that time, they had Rockaway Playland, chain up the bike, get a hot dog or two, or, well, usually not 3, but, 1 or 2. Get a drink or a cup of coffee, go in. I used to like that roller coaster there. Not as thrilling, perhaps, as a cyclone in Coney Island, but it was cool. And, other times, I would make a right turn, head west, go to Breezy Point, go in there, put aside the bicycle. I'd be wearing a bathing suit in those times when I did that. Go for a swim. That was nice. Oh, was that a cat up there? A pussycat? Hello? Hello, Mr. Pussycat. We used to have a pussycat, but, what are you going to do? So we got a doggie now. He's our friend. He's our best friend. And, all right. How long is this video? Oh, this is longer than the other one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk more about the subject matter later. Mac, come on, let's go back. Mac, see? Give him a block, he'll take a mile. But it's okay. I just don't want him to get cold. Let's go warm up. I got a jacket on, Mac, And then we'll come out a little bit later when it gets warmer, okay? I just want to do some more writing at the moment. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Talk to you in a while.